You're right. I don't know if the audio is working. Okay, we'll need to check. Uh, okay, everything should be in working order, I hope. Uh, so yeah, I'm just gonna plug the stream and proceed. However the hell am I supposed to like have say be able to see my chat on my tablet, but we'll figure something out. For now, I'm just gonna. Well, okay, so welcome no one. Yeah. Well, since there's no one here, I might as well just shut the fuck up and work in the game. Uh, okay. What is this? Oh, that would be the portraits. Could be used for for pack 1, pack 2. Well, it's gonna. Well, in retrospect, I maybe shouldn't have uh, imported literally every single asset into the project, so I might as well actually just like create a new folder for that, cause oh, Hey, what's up? What up? We're making a game and my Unity fucking crashed. uh, okay, let's maybe try again. I'll just copy over the contents of those asset packs to a different folder so that we don't basically clutter the project files, because frankly we're not gonna be using every single asset from the entire asset pack. We're just gonna grab a few, like some music maybe and that kind of stuff. I reckon I had one game, yeah, where I had some say Touhou-ish assets, like some sprites and such, though can't seem to find them right now. In textures, were they? Where the hell did I put those? I mean, both spell cards. No, those assets can't have been like the files for level 1, 2. Intermissions, no. And in the resources, of course, I forgot. Taha and sprites, and I'll just copy over some assets for like placeholders, at least for now. Wait, maybe I should copy over the. Okay. Oh no! Oh no! I'm so fucking scared right now. Uh, please don't. Actually, I'm. Uh, well, actually, I don't really mind whether you do or not, but just so you know, it's a horrible idea to put me on a massive ass screen. I mean, nothing good would come out of that. Uh, actually, I'm not gonna keep those enemy scripts, the enemy sprites. Uh, yeah, I also won't be needing those things. Okay, let's go just to those asset packs real quick. What were those? Ah yeah, pixel art's perfect. I don't know any Japanese, so uh What are those? There's some things for maps, like some objects. VFX, so VFX things could be very useful. No clue if we're gonna use them. What is that? Oh, there are actually UI icons in the pack, which is pretty cool. Damn, too bad those characters aren't named, but whatever. Not much learning to be found here. I'm just pretty much looking through some assets, and right now, at least right now, trying to see what could be useful and what not. By linear point. Like, why does it scale like that? I'm gonna set scale to 48. What I'm gonna do right now is I'll just grab a screenshot from. Okay, I can't. So, the game we're making, yeah, it's basically gonna be. You may know or may not know. I don't know why is my Steam suddenly German. Outside the fact that I'm in Germany, not important. But basically, there's this game, Vampire Survivors. It's it looks like shit, but despite how looks like shit, sounds like shit, it looks it looks pretty much like slop, like some like a high school pre-graduate something student could make in their spare time. Uh, but despite all that, the game is hella fucking addicting, and it's just so. It's really difficult to explain why, but it's just really addictive. Like, you have a shit ton of enemies always spawning, trying to kill you, and you just kill them and try to survive for as long as you can, while getting items with. So basically, that's the kind of thing we're gonna be making. I'm actually. Yeah. Dev actually is using has been using like an asset pack with like enemy sprites and such in the style of like all the Castlevania. Uh, I can't for the shit of me spell correctly, but uh sounding it kind of like those really old Game Boy Advanced Castlevania games, something like this. the dev's been using like the asset packs, and that's the kind of style. Albeit, kind of looks like a retro slop, if I'm being honest. But far as I'm concerned, the dev said that it's kind of an intentional effect. So that's why we're making pretty much the same thing. Well, not exactly a similar thing, but it's gonna be like anime slop, cutesy, over the top, with anime characters. Well, except the cringe, because if we made the game to be like fucking cringe, then I might as well just commit defenestration on myself. Who knows what that means? Knows. I'm actually working on this game with a buddy of mine. Yeah, if you know coding, I encourage everyone to try their hand at game dev. It's really fun, no matter whether you're skilled or not. Well, I mean, if you're not skilled, then you're gonna have some difficulties. But if you get passed through some some common sort of obstacles, then this should be pretty much golden. Don't know how to say it, but it's just really fun. Game dev is really fun. If you don't know like how to make platformers or top-down games or RPGs or whatever, for the love of God, don't start by trying to make an MMO, multiplayer game or whatever. Frankly, I have no idea what you just said right now. I may be too old to understand a single word. I'll zoom in a bit. Public rigid 2D. I would say no, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't deem myself ready for that sort of stuff. Shit, deleted the wrong thing. Eh. there's no need to be uh, talking about that kind of stuff right now, really. I mean, not certainly a bad thing, I would say, but uh, I think there are better things to talk about. Anyway, this trick I like with mask and like why am I applying the mask here? This is a trick I kind of stole from a friend of mine. Uh, Nothing remarkable, but it's gonna be used for like damage effects. Like when the player gets damaged, they will flash red. It's nothing remarkable, so I might as well just not talk about it. Read it to the 0.3, something like that. Do you like coding? Yeah, yes I do. I mean, I wouldn't be coding if I didn't like it. May not be the best at it. Matter of factly, I suck a lot, but why should I like not be doing that if I yeah. Okay. How game jams work? Well, game jams are actually like an event, kind of an event or something like that, where you basically just try to make a game in a set amount of time. For instance, for this game jam, it lasts for 5 days. So from today, like an hour ago, no, couple hours ago, to till like 18th, 19th, something like that. I don't know. It's a Japanese time zone, and in the 5 days you gotta make a game and simple stuff. Not very simple. But after that, after I submit the game, I'm gonna publish it on my itch.io whenever it loads, and it's gonna be like somewhere around here where you can just play it anytime. Oh, when did I get into coding? Uh, Kind of difficult to tell. Somewhere about like uh, somewhere about like around 2018. Actually, I've been learning how to code long before then. Even like when I were like 12 or 11. Somewhere like that, I reckon. But I mean, that time they were like teaching us some the very basic ass things in the primary school, uh, and that was just like, I mean, the absolute bottom line. You can't even technically call it, well, you can't call it coding, but in huge brackets, in like huge parentheses, however you call them, I don't care, quotation marks, yeah. Uh, uh, but more seriously, like developing in like Unity, I started at like 2018, if I'm not mistaken. I could have started a bit later, but that's around when I started taking it a bit more seriously. Ah, I when it comes to coding, I normally code a bit more zoomed out like this, so I can see more of the code. But right now I'm more zoomed in a bit more, just so it can be seen better in on stream. I have no clue. Uh, I have no clue how visible it is on your end. Like how what's the resolution like? Uh, on like the other end, not like on my end, because on my end I can't really see it, but I assume it's like low quality. So if the stream is like at low quality, I might as well just be zoomed in, so you can, even if a bit, see the code. Where the fuck did the player go? I did not disable gravity for some reason. The constraints I probably should. Why does the player disappear? Ah, I know why. That's because the camera y z-axis z is that z? Yeah, it's the z-axis. Uh gets reset to 0. Because I'm using vector 2's here. Uh didn't know where to start. Uh how difficult? Depending how you look at it, it's both difficult and not difficult at all. Uh, by that I mean, when I like were getting into coding myself, I actually tried getting into it a few times, like over the years. I started coding for a bit, then quit for a few months, then went back and did some stuff and quit, and that went a couple times till like I got back better at about, I don't know, 2020? 2021, I reckon. But if you wanna get into coding, what I'd really recommend for starting out would be, it may sound hella stupid, but Scratch is pretty good actually for starting coding. I myself didn't start out with that, but if you wanna start out like in a better way to say understand more, learn more technical things when it comes to coding and such, I'd recommend starting with like a good couple Python tutorials. Those are pretty cool. Though I do really recommend looking at like written tutorials, like at W3 schools. Those tutorials are really good. I recommend checking out those. There's also like, if you wanna like say for making visual novels, I'm not gonna open that site because it's probably gonna pop up with some sus shit, but if you wanna start with like making visual novels, games sound like this. This currently is a mock-up, this game does not exist, but if you wanna make something like this, like with stories and such, I really recommend the RenPy. It's really simple, beginner friendly, offers export to like, you can export with it to like Windows, to mobile, to Linux, and the macOS, whoever uses those two. No clue if it can work with like consoles, most probably not, but it's a good, really good engine. Yo, yeah, it's Scratch is really popular with like schools, unless you mean W3. I don't really know, judging by the delay. Okay, the ground sprite, I could steal some ground texture from like, from what though? I remember having like some good, I don't know, grass textures in one of my games, but for the love of me I can't seem to remember. Polygem game first. Yeah, I could take from this for now as a placeholder, wherever this is gonna be bingo. What kind of resolution was that? 64 by 64. Horribly large, but for now it will work, I hope. Multiple mesh type. Draw mode, tiled. Okay. This looks horrible, but my eyes. No, we gotta turn the crunches down okay, nah, never mind. We're not using this. I'm gonna whip out a quick texture like. It looks horrible, but that's just gonna. I mean, that's just gonna be a placeholder. So yeah, it's so horrible. Uh, okay, that's gonna be like. Okay, that's gonna look horrible, but we essentially made, at least for now, we essentially made like a smooth camera script thingy, where like if you can see on the view at the bottom, the camera kinda sorta smoothly follows the player. I mean, there are no controls here yet, but we're gonna add those right now. Question is if we have the new input system package. Input, yeah, we have it. We have the input system package. Uh, hmm. I don't really remember how I did the inputs in my other game, so I might, oops, so I might as well just uh, go check out how I did the inputs in my like Smash clone. I mean, I'm still doing them. I'm still working on it, but I'm just gonna look up how I did those over there, cause it's kind of a new new Unity package thing, and for the love of me, I don't really know how to do anything with that. So manager is player input manager. Oh, it is player input manager, not player input. Wait, no, I've been using the correct one all along. Player input, it's like... Okay, default scheme. Okay, that's invoke unity events, and here I know what to do. So player input, and that's gonna be... I need to steal the script, the part of the script from... what the fuck is that? Okay. Okay, handle input, and that is no longer needed. It's player movement, and that's handle input. I can just copy that to everywhere. I mean, the game's only gonna consist of like movement and occasional input for some like other optional thingies. Obj dot... Okay, shit, I forgot actually to steal some other like scripts with new stuff. That's new player controller, and where was that? The mode is obj action triggered, yeah, and obj action name. Okay. Move vec is gonna be obj dot read the value vec2. Reckon that should work. I'm gonna probably need to set it. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna need to set the movement vector to like not be possible to not be like okay, now we're gonna keep it normalized, like the magnitude clamped, because 'Cause I mean, why not? Hmm. Vector 2 and Vector 3. Okay, I'm not gonna be using the on rigid body because frankly we're gonna be only be using a transforms because uh, okay, abominable solutions, but I don't care. No clue if that's gonna like bypass the. Oh yeah, that does bypass the restrictions of the constraints, but okay. Well, I wanted to use the transform for movement so that the enemies wouldn't be able to push the player around when they collide with them. But now I realize that I can just separate the collision from the collider like environments and such from the player's actual hitbox. So the hitbox could be a trigger. The uh, sprite circle. Can why can't I okay, well, for some odd, very odd reason, I couldn't just copy over the regular circle, but well, we have it now, but so not much of a problem here. We're gonna keep the hitbox slightly transparent so we can kinda actually see what's going on. Let's actually set up the physics. How's the collision matrix gonna work? so the player okay, so the player is gonna environment has no collisions except for with the player and player attacks. But let's start with the player is gonna collide with obviously not themselves but not the enemies with pickups. Enemy only with like enemy hitboxes and environments. Player attacks also with enemies and environments. Oh, I already set it up. Pickups only with the player. Hitboxes only with the enemies. Environments. Okay, that's done and done. I for like the enemies, uh, I would normally what I would normally do is I would create an enemy script and put that script on every single enemy that's gonna be like on the map, like anywhere around here and such. But with larger amounts of enemies, it's it can generate like a ton of issues. And I've read like in some place where is my stream still working? Yeah, it is. Uh with like larger amounts of enemies, like in thousands even. It's way more efficient to store enemies not as like objects, like uh, this player, this player here has like a bunch of scripts. Like there's the movement script, there's the script for reading the inputs, there's like a physics thing, there's collision, hitboxes, there's the visuals and such. That's a whole one object. The player is one object, and the enemies would normally also be objects like the player, but or normally if you have like a few enemies, it doesn't. It's not much of an issue, really. You can just have pretty much as many of them as you want, but the real issues start arising when you have like a shit ton of enemies. Like, I don't mean like 20 or like 50. I mean like 100 or like a couple hundred enemies. Then you're gonna start noticing tons of like stuttering and lag and all that. That is because each enemy has like each individual enemy has like all those scripts, and each of those scripts runs like the enemy logic pretty much each physics frame, which is really bad for performance. So that's why I'm coding just one manager script that will just control all of the enemies at once, just with that one script. And also all the enemies are gonna be stored not as like individual objects, but like but as data. So like there's not gonna be like one array of enemy objects, but rather there's gonna be a bunch of different arrays for like health amounts or movement speeds, damage amounts, and all that kind of sweet and lovely stuff for each enemy. It's gonna look horrible, abominable, but that's but what you but what kind of steps should you not take uh when you're striving for efficiency? Half damage. Like, no clue if any of you two guys know, but there was this guy called Shantunes. Don't really like that guy. Just found out he like appeared on my like he left a comment on one of my videos. Safe to say he can do such thing no longer. Booted his ass. I mean I tried in the past to like try to maybe that's gonna be a horrible thing word convert, like get him on a straight path. I did not succeed with that, and well, yeah. Uh, I mean, I'm not gonna be telling his story to everyone here now, cause uh, frankly, that's not something that I should be telling or talking about. Some things are just better left forgotten. You reckon? It's something like ah. Anyway, uh, public rigid body. Move pose, and that's okay. Need to grab like directional vector from the enemy to the player, so like player position minus my own position, or player position, so pause minus player dot pause dot normalized times speed I times time dot fixed delta. Ah, shit. That's only gonna work for... Ah, shit. That's not gonna work at all. The enemy manager, uh... I mean, it could kind of work when it comes to like, uh... moving the enemies and such, but like for checking the collisions and such, like when an enemy like gets hit, to like remove that enemy from the list. Uh no, that's not gonna work. We're not using an enemy manager. Shit. It's gonna be one enemy, enemy, not enemy. Ah, for now let's set to just regular enemy, and that's gonna be void fixed update public rigid 2D on RB public float speed public and health damage, so like the damage the enemy is gonna deal to the player when they hit him or hit her, cause all the protagonists are gonna... I didn't used to be a weeaboo a couple of years ago. What the fuck did happen to my life? Private. Okay. Now, rigid body 2D. Player RB maybe is gonna be assigned when the enemy gets spawned. So I'm not gonna worry about that now. Though I'm gonna need to set it to public. Public void health minus amount if health under or equals 0 die. Oh, it also needs like XP drop chance, power drop chance, different chances for different things, so that's gonna be a power drop chance, an item drop chance, and for the power amount, because there's gonna be like only two maybe power items, so what's the asset pack? Which character can we use for for the first enemy? Is every single one? Yeah, 48 by 48. For now, let's go with Rumia. Ah, okay, there we go. Why is... Okay, I'll do in that regard. Though I'm gonna change the enemies to use a blue color. For enemies, we also wanna use as few game objects as possible for them. So the enemy flash, the damage flash thing is gonna be here, and that's gonna be here, and okay. Shit. For now, I'm gonna keep the hitbox as it is, though. Later, those hitboxes are gonna be like pretty much invisible and in the regular hierarchy. I don't know, I'm just gonna take away the collider because I can do this, and this hitbox viz for now it's just to have the It's currently just for the visuals, so I can kinda... Oh, what the hell? Yeah, why can't I move? Uh... Why cannot I suddenly move? Ah, that's cause I had that frozen and... Uh... Okay, I flipped it, I flipped it, I accidentally made it. So it moves to the vector, but now movement's fixed. Ah, doesn't work when frozen. That's not much of an issue. Uh, ah, the enemy tries to get to the vector, not... Ah, okay. Stupid mistakes after stupid mistakes. But how that... She's running away from me. Where did she go? Yo, you're not getting away from me, Perhaps I should not be doing this. This looks fucking... Okay, that... I should not be doing that, but... Yeah, no, the enemy chases me normally. The ground, of course, is gonna need to be like moving endlessly with the player. Ah, oh shit. My chat. Well, there's nothing happening here, but it's still good to be able to see if anything happens. Assuming anything happens, nothing ever happens. Ah. Okay, what need to be done now? Let's just make like a something for handler input. I can keep that at the very end. Uh, so the hit stun is gonna be applied whenever the player gets hit, so like the player doesn't get like swarmed and spammed and fucking killed immediately. For now, maybe I'll set it for at 0.3 seconds. Maybe I'll add some kind of sort of items or something that we could increase, modify in some way the hit stun. Uh, that to be modified with defense. I'm gonna destroy the script when the player dies for now. Uh, get component that's enemy damage. I'm using self damaging spell card set to 0 before dealing set hits them to 0 before dealing self damage. So if I add like a special ability or something that would like deal a shit ton of damage at the cost of dealing damage to yourself, harming yourself, then it's gonna have to first like uh Oh wait, of course, enemies have to collide with themselves, of course, too. Why do the enemies not collide with themselves? Oh, they do. They just need a little push. Hmm. Just gonna give uh, at the start a push in a random direction. Oh shit, did I? Uh, I forgot to add the linear damping to oh shit, the enemies for some reason used the enemy sorting layer, which is not good at all. Okay, well, since I didn't really see any motion, I might as well just call it quits, at least for the stream for now, for the day. Uh, well, no one's here, but just for the sake, thanks for tuning in, whoever did. Assuming anyone. Yeah, farewell.